Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the assignment, and hopefully you created some really interesting looks from these post-processing profiles. I sort of also did the task as well on this test profile and kind of created this look, which I quite like. It sort of reminds me of something like anime, or possibly like some Studio Ghibli kind of look. So just using post profiles, you can achieve some really great looks to your games. Okay, but for now we're going to go back to our horror game. So just make sure that you click on the camera under the FPS controller and just drag your Horror Night profile back into there. Okay, and we're back where we need to be again, so we're just right there. And so what we're going to work on in this section is adding some lights and some atmosphere to this scene. So I know already that I'm just going to click off the camera. I know already that I want the level to start by a lighthouse. I'll just find the actual lighthouse itself. There it is. My character is probably going to start on the beach. The boat has kind of washed up onto the beach, and the character's going to start there. And I want the lighthouse to be throwing out a light, not only out to sea but also across the entire island. Okay, and that's going to give us a really nice effect. So to do that, I want to place a light inside of this lighthouse. Now, first thing I'm going to do is just switch off the effects so that I'm back in the basic editor and I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to place something in the middle there. I'm going to go to Game Object, 3D Object, and I'm going to create a capsule. Okay, now the capsule is placed somewhere in the 3D world. In order to get it to appear where you need it to be, ensure that you have it selected. Click Game Object and Align with View. Now when I zoom out a bit, there it is. Okay, sort of. So let me just move this slightly. I want to move it back and across, and then I can just double click on the capsule. There it is. Great. Okay, so I need to kind of shift it a little bit closer, and I'm also going to rotate it so that it's roughly about 90 degrees on the X. There we go. I'm also wanting to scale this up as well, so I'm going to scale in the center cube there, then drag it back, and I want parts of this just to be showing through this glass. At the moment there's not enough showing through there, so I just need to scale this up a little bit. It is necessary to see it from various angles to ensure that you're getting it correct. Could be just very slightly bigger. Okay, I think that's fine. Now we are going to give it a texture which is going to cause it to sort of glow. Alright, so the bloom effect will hide these sharp edges. Okay, so there's the light in the lighthouse. So, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to start as I mean to go on and keep all of my elements organized so that I don't lose them in this entire list. So to do that, I'm going to click Game Object and Create Empty. I'm going to rename this My Assets. And then I'm going to click and drag on the capsule and just drag it down onto My Assets, and that means that I can keep everything nicely organized. Great. Okay, so click on the capsule, right click anywhere in the project window, create and a new material. Okay, and let's call this Lighthouse Light. There we go. Okay, so the actual colour is going to be a standard. We're going to change it to a transparent colour, and we're going to give it a kind of a blue tint. Alright, so I'm just going to start off on the blue. I'm actually going to type in an hexadecimal code so that you can get it exact. So it's capitals AAD 9E0. Okay, so that we get this really nice kind of bright blue. Okay, and we're going to actually drag the alpha down to around 25 on here. Okay, so 25. There we go. Just so that we can actually kind of see through this as well. So it's got an almost glass feeling to it. The metallic, we're going to drag this up to about 0.385. I'll start there again. 0.385. 0.3. That should be fine. And the smoothness, leave that on 0.5. Okay, now to get it to actually really glow, we're going to click emission. Alright, I'm going to click on the HDR and we're going to give it an emission colour, and I'm going to do this by red, green and blue. So red is 141, green is 209, and blue is 231. Okay, notice that we're getting very much the same colour that we assigned under the albedo there. The intensity remains at 0. Okay, and right there we can see that this is a very, very bright light colour. So now just click and drag that material onto the light itself. And in fact, instead of calling it capsule under my assets, I'm actually going to change that name. I think that would make sense, wouldn't it? So Lighthouse light object. There we go. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to attach 2 point lights to this. But before we do that, we're actually going to animate this rotating.